What's up? Good morning. Good Wednesday morning. Hey, it's Gamma World Justice. I was just on your replay. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Elaine Davis, how are ya? Everything's in green again. I guess YouTube is back on what it need to be on. How y'all doing this morning? Good Wednesday. Happy hump day. I am thinking, I'm hoping all is well with you and yours. Beautiful morning. He did it and he didn't have to. Hey, Luis Williams, how are ya? It's Gamma's World healing everybody. Yeah, guys. I'm in this morning, uh, moving about, getting things done this morning. But I wanted to come on. This morning I just saw on ABC News and popping around the channel. We're now talking about Nolan Wells and possibly being extremely intoxicated. Why now? And why now? We know there's a possibility that he may have had alcohol in his system. Toxology report has not come back yet. The first medical examiner was not able to determine if alcohol. The toxology report, nothing has been reported from either medical examiner about toxology. Okay, but now we're making a strong breaking news in all of this. Alcohol, Nolan Wells may have been extremely intoxicated. I'm gonna give you my opinion on this. Good morning, Yolanda Holloway. How are you? Somebody knows something. Let me tell you. I think you know how I was thinking that the district attorney think charges. If everything pins out the correct way, charges may be coming. There's a likelihood. I was listening to a few of the content creators. There is a possibility, y'all, that the DA, the grand jury, might return that there is a possible crime committed. That there's enough to charge somebody. If everybody, I don't know. We know it's going to go to a grand jury. We know that the medical examiner has his information. Well, we don't know if he will have everything because I don't know how long the toxology report will take. But there's a possibility that grand jury can return, um, charges. I want to say the writ of something. I can't remember how to say it. Hey, Rita, how you doing? So, Rita says, Grand Rising to all. So, this is what I'm looking at. We're getting ready for defense. They're, they are putting out a defense. Why? We got videos saying, get the F up Nolan. Clearly stated. Is he? Because now we're going for a lesser charge. Okay? This is just my opinion. Nothing factual. I'm thinking people getting ready to build their defense in case the grand jury comes back with charges. And what are we going to say? Is that he failed, they were scared, and now all they're going to be charged with is failure to report. If they get anything, they're trying to. For me personally, I think is that's where they're going. In case charges come back, the defense is now going to come out with, why did we hear these words? Get the F up Nolan. Is he dead, Nolan? The words that we heard, if you listen for yourself, you heard those words. Clearly heard, get the F up Nolan. Is he dead? We know Nolan was on a boat where they were asking if he was dead, and we know he was saying get up. So, what I'm thinking, we're preparing for a defense. I could be completely wrong, but I think we're getting prepared for a defense in case the grand jury returns with a probable cause to believe that Nolan's death was not drowning but possible foul play. Or again, we're going to wait on the toxology report. Whatever may happen, I think the defense is they're getting keyed up for defense. And that is going to be the charges we're going to plead to. This is just in my opinion, is that we failed to act. We failed to act. We failed to call. We got scared, and we failed to we you know we just got scared. We were kids. Now hear this. We're kids. We hear them saying we're kids. We're young people. We don't know that everybody's saying this again. I think we're now getting out of the fence. We're now going to be looking at young kids making inappropriate decisions, which they're young and dumb, and probably along the way made dumb decisions enhanced by dumbass adult. Excuse my language. Adults making it worse. This is just my opinion, no facts. Opinions, all opinions. What do you guys think? Do y'all think they're getting ready for the defense in case? Do y'all think they're about to try to? Rita, what do you think? Do you think they're trying to get ready for the defense? When any of these kids over 18? One was considered all 18 and above, but there was one that was definitely 21. I believe he was 21, and that's the one they described as Bart. Bart is 21. Everybody is under 21. We saw them with beer. We saw a couple of them with beer in there. You got pictures with them with alcohol in their hand. We are going to assume, y'all, we all may have been there before. We went to parties. Some of us, I'm not going to say everybody, some of us went to parties at age 18, 19, and 20, and we consumed alcohol. You're going to a beach party. You're going on an island that's where adults may be present and adults may not be present, but you're going to consume alcohol and whatever other indulge things they may have indulged there. I'm pretty sure we had some weed there. I'm pretty sure that island had things of their choice there. I disagree because he had Division One football camp on Monday. They could have spiked drink. Bart did because he had motives. I disagree because he had Division One football. Okay, Bart may have not. Wait a minute. Who had Division One camp on? Oh, they could have spiked his drink. Bart did because he had motive. Okay. Well, okay, I understand. Okay, you said that he had Division One. Alcohol in the system. I mean, they're at a party. Most of them, they're at a party. They're going to drink. Football players are going to drink, whether they got, in my opinion, or not. And I'm just saying this. I don't think Division football camp going to keep them from drinking. Maybe other drugs will not be in their systems, but definitely alcohol, beer. They're going to consume alcohol. And I mean, whether he was drunk or not, we don't know. Toxology probably going to show it. I don't know, but I'm, going to a party. I've been around football players as well. They're drinking, whether they gonna play football or not. They're gonna drink. Now, any other drugs that they can test for, I don't know, but alcohol is not going to prevent a football player from drinking on the weekend. We've seen where they got games and stuff, and they're going to play. They drink. I I see green. Yeah, they're back. Iconic. Yeah, Nolan Wells. Yes, they take blood tests. Um, I well, yeah. I guess if they do, um, for football, that's something probably new. But again, toxology reports going to tell these kids if they had alcohol. They're saying that he was drinking, and I'm saying if they reported him drinking, uh, and he did consume any alcohol, maybe not to even get drunk. Alcohol is not going to be in the system that long. Other drugs going to be in, but you're not going to get that much alcohol in the system if he wasn't drunk. Now the toxicology report is going to tell if he had survived, he had drank that weekend. They're not going to be able to tell. he had alcohol in his system over the weekend. If he drunk on 4th of July, that he's gonna pee that out. Okay, he's gonna pee that out. Why is a different thing with what that they're gonna drink. Yes, yeah, they're gonna drink. I believe, in my opinion, you at that situation, football player or not, you're gonna take a drink. You're gonna take a drink. You're out there for a reason. You're among everybody else. You're drinking. If he did drink, is this the reason they're going to use his defense? I don't think. Like I said, what is the toxicology report going to say? I don't know. Uh, but I think they're coming up with a defense now in case they do find alcohol in his system and they find enough. That's the defense. I'm just, in my opinion, I'm not stating anything as facts as if I was there. I'm not going to state anything as facts. Um, they also said he used drugs. Oh, wow. Wow. Now, that's different. I didn't see the report of drug use. That's different. Now, that's going to be in the system. That definitely will be in the system. But again, decomposed body, we just don't know yet. But the toxicology report will say something. I'm glad that Don Lemon brought the lady on, y'all. I think I posted Don Lemon's report. I gotta repost that. He brought a medical examiner on his show, and she cleared up a lot of things. She said a lot that makes sense, that kind of dispel a lot of the rumors and stuff, as well. So if y'all got a chance to see Don Lemon's next interview with this lady who is I believe she's a medical examiner as well. Being at a party doesn't necessarily mean drinking. Yeah, some people may not drink at the party. Some people can go to a party. Iconic, I agree. Not everybody has to drink at a party if there's alcohol. I gotta agree. Not everybody partakes in the drinking at a party. So I agree with you on that. That doesn't mean you have to drink. I guess I'm just looking back at, their age and just thinking the party environment. Uh, I don't know. Like I said, toxicology report hopefully will come back with uh, some information. Now, what she did say that may put something on this and make you think. She said, "Guess what? Don't be shocked if the medical examiner in Mississippi comes back and everything is inclusive. Let me say, I'm saying right, that they cannot find a finding. Don't be shocked if the medical examiner comes with the same determination as the first, as uh, Nolan's parents' medical examiner. She said that has happened where they could not determine the cause of death at all. So don't be shocked. And she did make that clear. Don't be shocked because sometimes the medical examiners come back with not being able to determine the cause of death. She said, so let's put that out there as well. So if y'all want to check out Don's Lemon interview with another medical examiner, I think it'll get you. It'll clear up a lot of stuff like possibility, about the neck and everything else, and how the medical examiner don't have to turn over anything to anybody from a different state. He or she is not required to. And the medical in Washington D.C. can't go there and get it because every medical examiner is what is it? Is licensed in their own states. He's drowned. It's been determined. Move on. Okay, Gracious. What is that, Gracias? We get to talk about this. Unless you're the medical examiner, I mean, you have a right to your opinion. You believe he drowned, but you don't have a right to tell anybody to move on. I mean, you can say what you want to say, Gracious, but everybody has a right to talk about this, and everybody has a right to find out. And wait, why do you think you have a right to say he drowned? It was if that I don't know if you're a child or mom or dad. Put yourself in that parent's shoe, if you're old enough. Gracias, put yourself in that parent's shoe. I don't know if you're a child or not. I don't know if you're an adult or not. I don't know if you're a parent, a mother or a father. But put yourself in that parent's shoe. Will you be able to move on? Would you be able to move on? I want you to just have some empathy. Have some empathy. And put yourself in that parent's shoe. Just take everything out of it. Take everything out of it. I want you just to take a moment. Take a moment and just think about it. That's all I got to say. That's all I have to say. Just think about it. Put yourself, and wherever the answer may be, whether it's foul play or drowning, would you not want an answer? Even though everybody else saying one thing, until your heart is settled, until you settle, would you not want to answer? He's a troll. He's a troll. He's a troll. He's a troll. But if he's an adult, I want him to think. I want you to think if you're an adult. Because if you're a troll and you're an adult, ask yourself. Okay, but if you're a child, you would understand. But if you're an adult, ask yourself, would you not want that answer? I would want an answer. Okay, just have some empathy, Garcia. Put yourself in that mother or father's shoe before saying move on. Because you never know. You never know what shoes you're going to walk in one day. Okay? Whatever the answer may be, okay? Thank you. That's all I wanted to say. I'm not going to make y'all let you cuss you out. I want you to think. Empathy. Empathy. Okay? My father's story about is also a football player. Nolan is the new hot football player. Not only that, they were dating the same girl. All that looks in that case, yeah. In that case, it all looks like it could be motive. It could be motive. Again, it could be motive. But again, just does it look like it could be motive? Possibly. But again, you got to have evidence to prove it. You got to have the evidence. You got to have the witnesses. As much as it looked like Bart could be the person, the only thing that's going to happen is, will they be able to produce the evidence? Will they willing to produce the evidence to bring him to justice if he did it? Again, everything is going to be based on what the DA presents to the grand jury, and again, what the medical examiner is going to bring forward. Okay, what the medical examiner is going to bring forward. Again, so well, yeah, Bart is 21. He looks like he have motive, but then again, what is going to happen? We don't know. We just don't know. Well, I'm hoping that the DA. I'm hoping this to see what the medical examiner is going to bring forward. I think the toxicology report is going to be needed. I think again, when she spoke, the other medical examiner spoke about the neck. The other lady, when they talked about the neck again, and the importance of the neck, again, they're going to look for the structure. If there's any, there's so many different things coming out about what a medical examiner could determine, right? I would want an answer, says Garcia. You have a good point. Thank you. I'm going to go watch my show. I'll talk to y'all later. Okay, Iconic. Um, and I try to keep things in the middle. As my mind is thinking a lot of different ways, guys, and I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with anybody because my mind goes back and forth and sways. And when I say this, my mind goes back and forth to all the possibilities. I'm not just settled on one particular thing. I just know that the parents have a right to have all the answers. Whether it comes out he drowned or whether it comes out it was foul play. My whole thing is just give them something that would make them feel or help them to gain closure. When he was a star in football, Bart is on the postcard papers. Bart comes from a rich family. That all that take in consideration, but does that make Bart guilty? But does that make him guilty? Does that make Bart guilty? All this stuff here is motive, but does it make him guilty? That's the question. All right. Does it make Bart guilty? Does it look like motive? When you look at the context of it all, taking it all the context, looking at the context, does it make him look guilty? And then you take it out of context, does it make him not look guilty? All this stuff, I heard that tape and believe what I heard. I heard a tape too, but I don't know. I understand. I believe that they said that get the heck up, get the F up, Bart. I heard the tape, but I'm not going to challenge you. Like I said, everybody's going to feel a certain way. Everybody's going to believe a certain way, and they all going down. Hell, yes. So, but I'm with Hey, Looney Tunes, how are you? I believe that the parents need answers. It doesn't look good. We know something happened on that boat based on the tape. The tape is not going to lie. This is why I think a defense is coming up. This is why I think we got a defense coming up. And that's why I think the alcohol is coming prominent now, right? Somebody already could probably, in my opinion, there is something may have been leaked that y'all better get a defense together because it ain't looking good. Now, this is how my mind moves back and forth. Could it possibly be down that we're thinking because that wasn't a big talk until now. Maybe mentioned, but now ABC News is blaring it out. It's coming out. Oh, he was extremely intoxicated. He was extremely this. Is somebody building a defense? Yes, they have to expert to analyze the tape. That kid was killed. I believe that. He was on that boat. Nothing clear. He was on that boat. We heard the words. Uh, the young lady that pulled the tape did not use, she stated. The first young lady that took the tape and broke it down, stated that she did not use AI enhancement at all. She went to her skills. She was a sound engineer, and she broke it down with her own skills. That means she didn't use AI at all. She went back to school on this and brought it down and was able to get a clear understanding of what happened and what was being said. She heard it. I heard it. You heard it. We know at some point we heard what we heard. So I'm not going to negate that. I'm not going to argue that point. We heard it. We heard what we heard on the tape. Can't negate that. Everybody now know what they heard. This is why I'm thinking, are we coming up with a defense if the grand jury brings back charges and says they believe that there is enough evidence to bring charges? This is what the grand jury is going to determine to further investigate. Because, hey, Elaine Davis, thank you for the gold coin. Hey, Raymond Little, this is what? Good morning, Cynthia Carver. Hey, Miss Carver, how are ya? So we know the tape is there. The thing is, are they preparing them defense now? That's the only thing I could think about. Is there a defense coming up? And is it going to be he was drunk and we didn't know what to do? Thank you for the floating heart, Elaine Davis. Thank you for the gold coin, Elaine Davis. Good morning, Miss Carver, says Looney Tunes. And like I said, everybody here has a right to their opinion. I'm not going to argue anybody's, and everybody has their feelings. I'm just like I was saying, I'm just hoping the parents get some answers. That's it. They to their satisfaction. And the thing about it could come out. They may not ever get any answers. It could go so many ways with the medical examiner's findings, right? One medical examiner already said he couldn't come up with any findings. We're just hoping what will the first medical examiner from Mississippi come up with. Okay? They say, damn it, Bart, and so you heard damn it, Bart, and then one said he's dead. We have to cover it. We have to cover it up. Wow. 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 That's a lot. That's damaging by itself. Again, I hadn't heard that. Again, I didn't hear all that. I may have to go back and look for it and listen again. I can only make out a few things, but Rita, if you heard all that, that's enough right there. That's enough right there. I mean, that's enough right there. That right there. They say, "Damn it, Bart," and then once he's dead. Mm. Well, let me play a devil's advocate. When they say "damn it, Bart," if you were a defense attorney for Bart, how would that indicate Bart did something prior to or after? You got to also look at he's going to have a defense attorney. He's going to have a good one. He's going to have probably a very good defense attorney. I'm looking at that fact too. I mean, everything is Rita. I didn't hear all that, but I'm gonna go back. I know I heard a female ask, "Was he dead?" Now they're saying no female. Now who was on the boat? They say Cassie. Well, the girlfriend wasn't on the boat. So who was the female on the boat? Because they're denying that she was on the boat. Yeah, they did say get the F up Nolan. I heard that clear as day. I heard, is he dead? Oh my God. And in between, get the F up Nolan. I heard that. That's clearly what I heard. I can tell, hey, Grateful too, thanks for the gold coin. I can tell when Warren was talking to the Seacoast Tow Company that he was distracted. I can tell there was something major going on based on him not. He was also, if this was his normal, if this was Warren talking, he was definitely slurring. He was definitely slurring. Warren was slurring, talking to the tow company. He was distracted. Thank you for the floating heart. It's Gamma's World. He was distracted by something as he was talking to the company. You can tell there was a lot going on, but yet when they ask him, he's in how many foot of water? But they're taking on water, we're sinking. 10 minutes later, they were not sinking. Location of this boat. They left the island. Why are they now still on? Why is this boat sinking? If they left the island, why is this boat on the same side of the island that Nolan body was found? Just throwing that out there, okay? They were sinking, and 10 minutes later, they were going at 50 miles an hour. Listen to what I'm saying. The boat was sinking. When they called for a tow, at this time, they were sinking. Whatever happened between the time the Coast Guard came and 10 minutes later, they were moving again, and they were moving at top speed. Good morning, old man. Exactly. I followed this case closely, like Carmelo Anthony, the other black kid that was with a group of white boys and drowned on the fourth. Also, I understand that, Rita. I understand that. I understand the optics of it, and it don't look good. But again, I look at. I'm taking the whole thing into consideration. It don't look good, and it does leave. But the same thing, same token, as well as you're following the case, we all follow. A lot of us are following the case, so we may all come up and have strong feelings on what's going on. My feelings are extremely strong as well. It may not always be uh, in line with everybody else's feeling, but that's just the way it is, right? We're all going to look at it differently. We're all going to find different ways. No matter, even I'm a black mother as well. Um, we're all going to look at this differently, and maybe even some of the same conclusion. That was established alibi. That's probably so. Probably so. But again, let the facts roll out because it doesn't make sense. The boat, again, the boat was drowned. A boat was sinking, and 10 minutes later, it was traveling at a speed of 50 miles per hour. Now, now I don't know anything about boats. I can't answer how boats return. I got to be clear about this. I don't know anything about boats. I don't know what a boat can do 10 minutes later after it was reported sinking, and then all of a sudden now it's at a speed of 50 plus miles an hour. I don't know how. The boat was sinking. They needed help. 10 minutes later, of course, they don't need any help anymore. And the boat is now traveling at a rate of speed. The boat didn't dock because if I had a problem with a boat, now we all know if we had a problem with something, no, I can't say that. Strange, the boat was sinking. The boat got up to a speed of 50 miles an hour. Once it wasn't sinking, the boat didn't actually go back to dry dock. The boat started traveling. The boat went to Port Royal. Is it Port Royal? The boat went one place and then it went to Port Royal. Then it went back. The boat traveled. After fair up taking on water, nobody tried to get the boat out of the water. The boat picked up real good speed and kept moving. Now they're trying to change the narrative and say Nolan was drunk and drinking heavily. That's what we're saying, Kelly McNeil. And I'm wondering, because we got the tapes already, because we got the tape saying that get up Nolan, get the F up Nolan, is he dead Nolan, oh my God, are we changing the narrative because we're getting a defense together? This is just my opinion. Are we changing it because if we say he is now been drinking, can we say that he passed out, hit his head, and now we afraid, we didn't want to report it, we were scared, so the only charges that we can bring up now is failure to act, covering up, lesser charges, or are we preparing for lesser charges? That's all I'm saying. A coincidence his body was found in the same location as Warren said. That's what I said, Rita. Coincidence. His body was found in the same location as where Warren reported the boat was located, northwest, west end of Horn Island. Okay? Now, what's funny about that point? That end has been that end of the island where he drowned. Thank you, Rita Williams from the Sin Heart, from the Finger Heart. What's funny about that? The Coast Guards described that end where they found where he supposedly drowned. The riptides and the currents are very strong there. Most of the time, if they go back and check the records of the tide and how the water was moving, they can sometimes tell where a body could come up at. How did that body get to the north end West End, 2 days. Where did he drown? Now, is it possible that the body was on the island and tide came in and washed the body off? Is it possible? But no, because again, let's take everything that seemed not okay. Let's take in the fact that the body was reported not waterlogged. For the amount of time that was in the water, this is just something else that came up. The body did not appear to be waterlogged for the amount of time it was in the water. Thank you for the mic drop, Kimberly McNeil. So yeah, there's so many questions. This is why the mother and father deserve answers, because these are the questions that need to be answered. Whether it comes, just answer the questions. It may not be the answers I want to hear, and it may not be the answer I may be satisfied with, but we need answers. Okay? Okay? Because you could, I mean, please, these privileged kids, and sometimes I understand what you're saying, Rita, but I can't just blanket this, okay? I understand you have some strong feelings, but I'm not the person to blanket this whole entire thing. I understand. I'm not going to dismiss your feelings because they're strong, and you're not the only one that feel that way. And I don't. You have every right to feel the way you want to feel, but I also have a right to feel the way I feel. Um, because I'm saying I'm not going to dismiss your feelings because you have a right to feel that way, as as strong as you do. Like I said, everybody's feelings based on their experience, based on their historical facts, and everything else. I have some very strong feelings, but I also look at things, try to look at all areas as well. I agree with you in a lot of things, but a lot of times I have to look at everything. That's just how my mind works. Um, Strong feelings, strong beliefs, but my mind also have to work in different ways. Okay, I know they're privileged kids, but I also know they're privileged kids that not all privileged family act this way. They have privileges, but not everybody may want this. That's how I look at it. Maybe I'm wrong, but not everybody that come from privilege may act this way, and I just have different experience with dealing with different types of people, but I understand what you're saying. Clearly don't dismiss you. You're entitled to your feelings, and very strong feelings, and you're not by yourself. You're not by yourself, and I'm not dismissing your feelings, not at all. Why are these lying by saying Nolan stayed behind when you can clearly hear them? We know he's on the boat now. I'm a whole vibe. This is why I'm thinking they're coming up with the narrative he's been drunk. We know he's on that boat. I always had strong feelings that he's on that boat. I always had that feeling that Nolan was on that boat. Even when the girl said that Nolan left with them, he was on that boat, and the video and the tape that we're listening to put him on that boat when it was sinking. Okay? We know that. Clearly, I'm thinking that is why they're coming up with the fact that he's drinking. Because what the defense, I believe, is going to happen, what I think has happened is that they know that the grand jury is going to possibly come back with something, and now we got to build a defense for a lesser charge. This is my thinking. I could be completely wrong. My thinking is we're going to get prepared for a lesser charge. If we have to plea, we're going to plead to the fact. This is just my thinking, gut feeling, thinking. We're going to plead to a lesser charge of failure to act, failure to render health care, and disposing of a body. Okay. No, you know what? Seacoast. Here's what happened. The tow company gave the tape to the marine people get the what is it called? Ocean life, marine life. They got the tape. They had the tape. Somebody from marine life or whomever released the tape. Nancy Grace got the tape official, recordings that was released by the marine by Seacoast to the marine ocean life people. Okay, public records. But they had bad apples that spoil a lump. Yeah, they are some bad apples that can make it look bad for everybody else. Just like there are bad apples in law enforcement, police officers that are bad apple, nurses that are bad apple, that make it bad for everybody else. You got people that do things that make it look bad for other people that uh, share the same things. They're bad police officers that make police officers have a bad taste in their mouth for police officers. They're bad nurses that do things that make people think twice about nurses or doctors or teachers. Anybody can spoil anything can spoil a bunch and make everybody else look bad. So yeah, they are involved in a cover up. That's great. My thing is in this situation is I wonder if the DA, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm gonna give the DA once they what the evidence do they have enough evidence that they're holding on to? Then let's look at this here. What if the medical examiner does have enough evidence with the neck structure and the body parts that he did get collect, and he's holding that evidence? Let's look at it this way. What if we look at maybe the DA and the medical examiner are holding on to this evidence that they have? Let's look at it this way. So when they do produce it to the grand jury, the evidence would not have been tainted. Now I'm gonna play this part here. What if the medical examiner's reports lead to the grand jury being able to bring not charges, but say that this investigation need to proceed on because there's enough to believe that this was not an accident, this was not a drowning? What if the evidence produced by the DA and the medical examiner do have proof enough to warrant a to have further investigation? What if it is? What if this is why they may have an idea that the evidence is there? Because of the tape. Because of the audio. The audio is strong. You cannot cover up the audio anymore. I'm just saying. Sometimes you just want to keep hope. Sometimes you get disappointed, but you just hope everything would work out. Just this kid's father is a doctor, his stepmother is a judge, the governor is their pocket. This is a closed kid community. This is cover up, and everyone sees it. Not could be, a cover up, but it's too many things out here. I mean, you're gonna have to ignore a lot of things, Rita. Again, that grand jury is going to be the key of it. And like I said, I'm not pretty partial to grand jury, but my understanding, based on, like I said, this is going to be up to the grand jury. Is it a cover up? Could it be a cover up? I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say it can't be, Rita. It'll be a sad thing if it is. So I'm not going to say possibility, Rita, because history have shown, and I can understand how you feel like that, Rita. I'm not going to negate or dismiss your feelings because we've seen it before. All right? So you have some strong feelings. And I understand, yes, it could happen. I'm hoping it don't. Somehow I still got to hold on to hope. I got to hold on that they will do the right thing if the evidence precludes itself to say this is enough. Okay, I'm hoping. I'm holding on to hope. I'm holding on to hopes. Good morning, Kim, says Looney. That's it. That's just the way I'm thinking. I'm hoping that the mother gets, even though history sometimes has told us different, I'm still holding on to hope. That's just my nature. As strong as I may feel about certain things, I still have hope about certain things. And I'm hoping that if the medical examiner and the DA present this stuff to the grand jury, that is enough to answer why we hear them say, get up the F up, Nolan. We got to put Nolan on the boat now. You cannot dismiss that. Somebody got to tell me why are we not saying Nolan on the boat? Did the DA already know this evidence? Is the DA not responding because she had the evidence already that Nolan was on the boat? This is why I'm thinking. This is why I'm thinking. The DA playing their cards close. I'm thinking so many different ways. Do the DA have the, because is the DA playing it close? Because she is in a community where they have to be. I'm I'm thinking, is the DA and the medical examiner actually doing what is right and playing their cards close because of the community they're in? Because they don't want to, they want everything sealed. Because they don't want certain witnesses. We have, now check this out now. Check this out. We know that they got witnesses. But we don't know what all the witnesses said already. We don't know how many witnesses they got, and we don't know who they spoke to. And guess what? The family don't know who they spoke to. This is why the DA sealed everything. Unless, this is why I'm playing the other devil court advocate. What if the DA is actually doing her job and protecting the witnesses so they won't be tampered with? Protecting the evidence so nobody would know where they're going at? What if the DA is actually doing her job? And what if the medical examiner is actually playing their cards close because of the community and because of the people involved, that they don't want anybody? Remember what they did to P. Diddy? Remember they didn't, well, they tried to. Remember how they moved and Diddy didn't know they were coming for him? Okay. Also, the Feds is on the case, so it's chess, not checkers. Definitely. We know that the Fed is investigating. We know that the Feds came in and did forensic digital evidence, right? We don't know what they got. And because of the case and the nature of the case, they got to play everything close to the vest. So everybody got to be in their emotions now because they don't know what the Fed has. They don't know what the DA has. They don't know what the medical examiner said has got now. And they got to keep this information close to the chest because of the fact that they're dealing with the governor. They're dealing with judges. They're dealing with rich family members. And they're dealing with people that can sway the evidence. Okay? I don't feel anything but want justice for the family. Wells family is what I heard with my ears. I'm not denying that. Bart need to be questioned, says Cindy. And hopefully, what if they have questioned Bart? Have they now? Here is where everything went wrong for me as well. Being an investigator, a former investigator, being a former detective, the handling of this case from the beginning is where I have a problem with. Okay, this is why I have a problem from the beginning how this case was handled. Even though we had reported drowning, because of the facts, certain things that was coming out, why wasn't the boys interviewed? Why was no one interviewed? Why wasn't anybody interviewed? That's it. Not arrested, just interviewed. Get a statement. What happened? The history of Mississippi to cover up crimes and protect their own. Again, we have a consideration of historical data, facts, right? We know that there is a history there, and that's the concern. That cannot be dismissed. People feel certain ways because of the experience and history of the state. We know that. That's clear. Cannot dismiss the fact that people feel this way because of the history of Mississippi. That is clear. That has to be taken into consideration. Cannot dismiss the fact that Mississippi, you have a history, documented history, and you have a people that feel this way because of the documented history and because of, you know, things that just not too far in the past. Okay? So yes, experience are going to help. Experience is going to, what we heard, what we experienced is going to lead the belief system. And when people have a strong belief system based on experience and based on history, you're not going, your impact when they see certain things like this is going to bring up those belief system. And Rita, that's why I gotta respect people, because experience, history, I gotta hear it. I can't dismiss it because of the experience people may have had directly or indirectly when it comes to the Mississippi or other southern state when it comes to justice. And just not past history. We're talking just days ago, months ago, year ago, when it comes to justice. We got Breonna Taylor. What is her name? We got George Floyd. We got Sonia Massey. This is why you have strong feelings. This is why I cannot sit here and dismiss people saying, no, no, no. But I can say, you know, feelings are valid. Your feelings are valid because of the strong history and not so far back in the past. We're talking just year. Okay? So yeah, got to take in consideration. Can't dismiss people's feelings. Mississippi Still Burning says, Jay Martin. What's up, Rita Williams? Says, exactly, I'm a whole vibe. Uh, and like I said, I'm not dismissing anything. I look at it, I'm just looking at it in all sides right now. I just want justice for the mom and the dad. I just want the family to get their answers. And answers that they're going to have to either, deal with. Either, and who knows if they will ever get that. I pray they get the answers, but who knows? Who knows? Sometimes there are family members out there that's still looking for answers. They're still looking for justice. They're still looking for answers. They still want to know why, how come. They're not by themselves yet. So that's all, and that's all that I would love for the family to get. You know, um, just answer the basic transparency. I think if I think if the case was handled correctly from the beginning and taken as, you know, I just think that if it was handled correctly from the beginning, it wouldn't have taken on this, uh, wouldn't have taken legs like this. If law enforcement had just taken enough opportunity just to question people, just enough to say, wait a minute, his keys, he's not on the boat, they don't have his phone. Enough, somebody would have, good morning, T Hall, if they had just taken enough to say, let's look at it for a moment. His keys are not with him. His phone is not with him. Anything that would have nudged some type of something would have said, well, let's go look at it, y'all. Go take a look, go talk to them and find out. So in case the family have some questions, let's go talk to these boys. Let's go get some statements. Okay. I want to question why y'all deleted your phones. When we heard people deleting their social media, that didn't bring into question. Let's go move and find out what's happening. See, these things make people question. Okay. Why would, if there was some, y'all deleting, and then they admitted to deleting the social media, and nobody said, hey, wait a minute, hold up. Not one detective, not one investigator says, wait a minute, they're deleting social media platforms? They're deleting, wait a minute, hold up, what's going on? Nobody, not one detective said, wait a minute, they're deleting something? Wait a minute, he don't have his phone? You have a child. You tell me what teenager that you know, detectives that have kids, would your child leave without their phone? Would you not want to know why your kids, why the keys and the phone is not with your child? Man, why didn't y'all go hard for our Irina? I don't know who that is, man. You got a name, y'all. When y'all come in and ask questions, don't do that to yourself. Retired. Who is that? Retired young. I don't even know who that is. Erna Cernurska. You asking me a question? I don't know who that is. So I can't go hard for somebody I don't know. I don't know anything who you talking about retired. But you're not going to change up my story. We're talking about Nolan Wells. I don't know. I'm not being disrespectful, but I don't know who you're talking about. So I can't go hard for something that I don't know what you're talking about. Okay? Maybe you're in the wrong comment section. Maybe, but I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna let you go and like I said, I didn't prove your point. Don't know who that is. Didn't hear the story. Don't come to a conclusion. You didn't. I didn't prove anything. Okay. So just jump on the story that we're talking about. If you want to go talk about Irna Serturiska, go ahead and talk about her or him, whomever that is. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't know. No, I'm not going to apologize. I don't know who you're talking about. Okay. And I don't have to Google it. Okay. What you should have done is ask me. Did you hear the story about Irna? Maybe you can talk about that story. Okay. Um, but you know what I'm going to do for you? You're not going to accuse me of that. I mean, let me help you out for a minute. Okay. Normally I would want to discuss this with you, but I'm not because you're already coming in wrong. Okay. If you hadn't listened to my whole live already, if you haven't been listening how I do things over here, then you wouldn't make the statement you just did. But I'm going to dismiss you. Okay? I'm going to dismiss you. Because what you're not going to do is come over here and disrupt my live with accusations that you're not saying that is correct. If you wanted to talk about this person, all you had to do is ask, can you please look it up? But you're not coming and insulting me and insulting my audience. Okay? You did it wrong, retired young 1975. You did it wrong. As a way that you could have done this if you're really concerned about the young person the person that you're talking about. Okay? If you were really that concerned, no, if you were really that concerned, you would have asked differently. You wanted to come in here. No, you didn't come in the right way. You didn't inconvenience me. It was an inconvenience for you. Don't project. Don't project. You wanted to use a name to prove a point, and you didn't do it correctly. Okay? You grabbed up a name. You grabbed up a name, and you didn't show respect to the name. Because if you wanted to talk about that person, and if you know how I do things on my page, you could have presented that name correctly, and I would have probably checked it out. But you came in with some pre-notions. You didn't do it right. Go back and look at my page and see how I handle things here. All right? You came in with your pre-note, you just wanted to come in and be ugly about it. You could have shown some. You could have came in and asked me, "Will you please check out this story and see what you think?" But no, you didn't do it that way. You came in with accusations. You came in with anger about it, and I didn't know anything about it. Because I could have looked it up and see what you were talking about. But you came in again with pre notions and didn't do her, who or him justice at all. Shut the door right on them. And maybe I will go look and see what it's about. But you didn't do it the right way, retired young 1975. And with that age, 1975, you should know better. You should know better. Because 1975 is aging yourself. I'm not familiar with that case. And you could have presented that case. Maybe it's something I could have looked into. But you don't know my page. You don't know my content. And you came in with preconceived pre-notions, and could have happened, it could have been different. Go look at my page and see how I present things and see how I listen to different things. I don't dismiss people unless they become extremely disrespectful to me and my audience. And my audience may be a different race, color, and everything else. So please, we're talking about Nolan Wales. All you had to say, you know what? Well, please look at this case too, because maybe that's something you could look at. Okay? Because I have concerns about that case as well. Okay, retired young 1975? Think about it. Think about it before you jump on people's pages and just come to some conclusion. Okay, but if okay, we not okay, I understand what you're saying, retired young, but guess what? You didn't present it in the fact that as if I knew about this case. Okay? It's not, if it's relevant, I didn't know about it. I'm just now hearing something that happened in 2025. How could you assume that I knew about it? But you're not going to change up the narrative, the story right now. I have a certain topic that I'm talking about. If you wanted me to look into it, I would have looked into it. But you can't come in here angry and upset and with pre notions and pre ideas about how I view things, okay? You immediately went, oh, because of the color of their skin. Who? I don't even know about the person. But you projected. You projected. And you need to look at it that you projected your ideas and your views onto me. You did that. Now take responsibility for your actions. Take responsibilities for your action. And the guy was arrested, case solved already. I don't know anything about the case. Take responsibility how you approach people, retired young. Take responsibility. Think about how this topic could have gone differently. Hey, Butter Cookie, take responsibility for your actions and how you behaved and how you came in on my page and try to disrupt me making accusations, okay? Take responsibility. And go look at my page before you make those accusations. That's a totally different case. It happened on the Blue Line and in Charlotte. He was immediately arrested. Okay, Tasha. Again, projecting. Instead of getting your feelings, you should have just Googled. No, I shouldn't have just to Google anything. I shouldn't have just, not the way you approached it. You're not going to tell me what I should have done when you came in here all hot and prejudgmental. Okay? You came in your feelings already hot, already accusing. Okay, stop projecting. Take responsibility. You're old enough too. You dismissed 1975. What happened to Erna was wrong, but the case was solved immediately, not the same. And it says J. Martin. Hey, Chris. And I believe the title of this live is Nolan Wells. Thank you, Chris. Retired young, 1975. I'm going to move on to what I was talking about. Again, I didn't know anything about who you're talking about. I want you to think about your actions and your behavior. Stop projecting. Okay? You don't know anything about my channel. You heard me talking about Nolan Wells, and you didn't take the time to think about my channel and what I talk about and how I do things here. You just jumped right on in, and now you're in your feelings. And I'm not in mine. I'm not in mine. I'm not angry. But I'm just telling you, stop projecting. Stop doing that to yourself. I don't know you at all, but you didn't do it right. Thank you for the butterfly, Cassandra. She's not in her feelings. 1975. That situation isn't comparative. Not at all. Uh, no worries. I made my point. Appreciate your banter, regardless. No problem. See you on the other side. That case was solved and addressed by the president. Big difference. Thank y'all, Chris. I didn't know anything about the case. I at all. Don't know the name. A lot of things. I don't know everything, but they moved on. They moved on. And like I said, I don't know anything about the case in yes, in Charlotte. And like I said, I don't want to be dismissive, but they did it wrong. I could have looked. Anybody know if you tell me to look into something? If I have an opportunity, I looked into it. They don't know my channel. They could have said, "Hey, Justice, I know what you're talking about, but look at this case and see what you think about it." But no, they came in on their own mission, and they thought they were going to get this and that. Mm-mm. I wasn't addressing the case outcome, but the lack of outrage compared. I can't be outraged. Listen, I'm gonna move on. Retired young. You heard what I said. I don't know anything about the case. Okay, I'm not familiar with the case. I can't have outrage, and you not see me outrage. And if people should feel, if they're outraged, were you outraged about the case? Okay, we can't compare. It's two different cases, two different situations. Both probably horrendous at its point. I'm pretty sure the case that you're, like I said, something happened to this young person. I'm not familiar with the case. Please don't say, don't compare. Okay, I thought you in both cases pissed me off. Okay, okay, but understand, if somebody don't know what you're talking about, don't assume that I know what you were talking about. You need to apologize. You need to apologize because I have no idea what you're talking about. But we're going to move back on to Nolan because, not like I said, maybe apologize. Both cases piss you off, but again, not familiar with this. Okay, so again, y'all. Hopefully, again, when we look at any case, people want answers, and I want everybody to understand this is what happens. A lot of times we just different case, different situation. My understanding is that case has been solved, and this is what the family wants too. Right? They want answers. They want to be able to move on. They want to be able, and I don't know what the answer is going to be for them, right? But they want certain things answered. Okay? They want some clarity on why didn't this happen. And I said the same thing. Why, if we had handled it, if they had handled it with some care in the beginning, it'd probably take on a different light right now. Okay, that's it. If it had came out in the beginning, handled properly, it'll probably have a whole different type of leg right now. But when you dismiss something so quickly, and when you hear people are deleting cell phones, when you hear that, hey, this young man didn't have his keys, he didn't have a cell phone, click, click, that don't make sense to me. A detective, a young detective, anybody, wait a minute, a kid don't have a cell phone? We're hearing these different things. Let me go out there and take a look, Sarge. Let me go talk to somebody, Lieutenant. Maybe we need to take a little deeper. The case was just shut down. And that is why it took legs. It took on legs because of the dismissal earlier. I fault the police department for dismissing the case so early. Transparency, says Rita Williams. The deck is stacked against those kids, in my opinion, says Rita Williams. You're dismissed. We're done. We're on topic. Respect that. 1975 and have an eventful day, says Jay Martin. Back to Nolan, please. So again, this is what we're doing. So this is why I think the this is why I'm believing that hopefully the DA, hopefully the medical examiner playing this close to their vest. That's all I can hope for. You know, I'm hoping and praying that whatever the DA and medical examiner have will give some answers for this case and not make more answers and make more questions and leave the family still feeling not just not fulfilled. Not hopefully, let me dismiss this. Hopefully, whatever the DA, again, they're putting it in the hands of the grand jury. Um, and hopefully, the evidence that they're not releasing has enough to present a case if there is a case. But the call between Seacoast and Warren is enough for me to just look further. Because what the grand jury is going to do is determine, does this information have enough to warrant further investigation and possible charges that may lead to charges. That phone call that we heard, the DA already has. And if he or she presents that to the grand jury, that right there is enough right there to say, listen, we got to do something. That phone call alone, trust me, I believe the DA has that phone call. I believe the DA has that phone call. We got it. The DA got it. And maybe that's going to be part of what she produces to the grand jury in order to move further in the case. I'm just hoping, y'all. I'm just hoping that everything, you know, I hear Rita and everybody, Chris, Rita, all of you guys, you know, I hear you guys, and you have reasons again to feel the way you feel because of the past and not the so recent past. But I'm still holding out for hope, y'all. I'm holding out. I'm holding out to make just the hope that the DA presents all the evidence and that the family in the end get the closure that they need. You know, I think if they were transparent in the beginning and did their job, you know, I was listening to Nancy Grace again, and welcome back, Nancy. I don't know if she went anywhere, but I hadn't heard her for years. And the one thing she said is the same thing I'm saying. Question. Take statements. Take statements. Go talk to somebody. Take sworn statements. You know how you take it back in the day. I know they use recordings, and we have the legal pads. We bring somebody in the office. We go into a room. We record it. We state the date and time of the recording. We read them their rights. We go over the rights. We make sure they understand their rights because this is an investigative question. Because once you're answering questions, then you intend to do investigation. You do read the rights. You read the Miranda rights clearly, and then you take a statement. Okay. Each one of those kids' statements could have been taken, and you get to them early enough before they get their story together. Good morning, Justice in Chat. Stopping through to show love. Have a great day, everyone. You too, Lady B52. Okay? Statements should have been taken. And they should have talked to them separately. Get them in the quick enough before all this could have been put together. Right now, people are gotten together. Some people have gotten together and circled the wagons. Statements have been drawn up. Everybody got said what they're going to say, and boom. And if everybody's lawyered up, then we know definitely, it's a difference now. Okay, things are going to change. You're not going to get fresh. Now you got rehearsed, practiced, stated. Everything has been tinted. Everything has been tinted. You're not going to get anything now. Any statement now, probably, unless somebody comes and says, I want to tell the truth, I want to swear this is what happened. Take some lie detector tests. Now, we know about lie detector tests, right? Admissible and not admissible. But they could have taken a lie detector test. Not done. You could have offered to them. Can't make them take it, but you could offer a lie detector test to them. I uh, I feel that they do to all evidence not because I feel that way. I feel that way due to all the evidence, not because of the past history. It's because what I heard about this case and see a lot of mishaps concerning this case. Yep, true, true. But again, still you have a history of evidence, some things not being done properly as well. If the glove does not fit, you must acquit, says whatever. Let him try on his own glove and see if it fits or not. How far is that? I don't know what you're talking about, but you spamming me. I don't like to be spammed. I don't even play with spam. Bye. Who did I dismiss? Uh, I don't like to be spammed. You need to. Okay. I don't like to be spammed, and we're not gonna do that. Okay. Don't spam me. Okay. Don't spam me. Uh, but yeah, I'm waiting to see. I just can't. Anybody have a date on the grand jury yet? Have they given us a date on the grand jury? Um, are they going to wait on the toxology report to come back? The toxology report. That's the funny thing, y'all. I understand that the toxology report can take any from weeks to months to get that report. Maybe that's what they're going to wait on now. The toxology report, since they're not yet. Okay. Maybe they're going to wait on the toxology report. Maybe, um, and like I understand, it could take weeks and it can take months to get a toxology report. Um, Again, it's just what it is, right now. And um, haven't heard, says Kimberly McNeil. Okay, okay, yeah. I don't know, y'all. We just pray for the family. That's it. By this time, right now, I'm just praying for the family, for peace for them. A lot of people are being threatened. I know the family. I would like to see if there is a case. Would it be if anybody is charged? Are they going to try to move the case out of? Well, the defense would want the case to stay here. The prosecutor may want to have it. I don't know if they want to have it in, if they're going to have a change of venue, because we got some strong, based on what we're hearing right now. You got a lot of strong feelings. The case is huge. It's like the Carmelo Anthony case. I think that a change of venue should have been requested. His attorney failed on all points. I mean, if you just want to look at a cluster F of a family of the attorneys, Kamala Anthony attorneys, that case should have never taken place where it took place at. They should have had a change of venue. That was just a cluster F up anyway for Kamala Anthony case. I'm not sure how this case is going to work. If they're going to do a change of venue, lots of threats. I don't know why. Why are these people threatening people? Why are you death threatening the family and anybody in this case? Why did death threat being made? Come on, get a grip. When the death threats are going around to the family, to any and everybody that's involved, you just cut it, man. Come on. I know people are angry and upset, but to threaten the mother because she wants answers, come on. His first attorney was in bed with the judge and the police and everything, says RC2. That first attorney, that was a shame. I mean, if you ever seen I'm that was bad. That was bad. I mean, Kamala Anthony, first attorney. I mean, even a lay person can, even Stevie Wonder can say, can see that was just the effed up situation. Anybody can see. You don't even have to be an attorney to just see that. What the heck just happened here? Wait a minute. You got a case that has been in the news in this community with death threats, with people, with the people that want to cause physical harm outside, and y'all still had the case in that community. Okay, 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 okay. So that right there was just a cluster F. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. That right there was just a shame. Uh, they found him guilty in 30 minutes with everything, and there were so many attorneys that stated that they didn't even make enough objections in order to, you know, to even say to get an appeal. They could have set up so many objections that an appeal on so many things that they didn't even take the opportunity to. They let so many things, so many errors go in, things that probably a first year attorney could have seen that shouldn't have gotten through. Man, this was bad. This was bad. This was bad. But hopefully, Kamala Anthony will, you know, get this case appealed and will probably get his sentence reduced um, to a proper term and not 30 years in prison because his attorney failed to act. And I'm going to say this, his attorney, in my opinion, failed to do him justice. Okay? And anybody can look at that case and just know that was unfair. Should he got some time? Possible. But should he be serving 30 years? No. Mm-mm. I don't even trust Crump, says RC. Well, you know, that's what they got. They got Crump. You don't trust Crump. You know, well, I'll tell you one thing. The best thing about it is bringing attention to the case. And a lot of times, these cases like this uh, definitely require the nation's eye on it. And that's what it did. Crump getting involved did bring the eyes. It's a case that is not going to be swiped under the carpet, and it did bring a lot of attention. Hopefully, again, the family will get justice. However, justice look, hopefully it will be something the family can say, okay, we're good. Y'all done everything y'all could do. We accept the answers, and hopefully they'll get that. If not, then you know we just continue to move on. And yeah, a lot of times I'm not go. This is not the time to go into that, but yeah, strong feelings, strong emotions, um, and yeah. Harriet Tubman said it best. I could have saved a lot of slaves if they only knew they were slaves. My incentive, we have to teach our children our history, and they are not equal regardless of how we. Well, you know, whew, that's. I got to teach my child you are equal. You got to keep fighting for equality, because I want my child to know that I kind of disagree. I got to teach my child, and I will continue to teach children, you are equal. Know that you're equal. Know that you continue to fight. You may get treated, they may want to treat you not as an equal, but you are equal. And you have a right to have all the amenities and everything else as equal. You're not a slave. You're not a slave. I think on my forward thought, that's your feelings. I understand. Um, but, you know, we are what we are what we say we are, and If we start to believe we're not, even though we may want to believe, maybe people want to make us believe we're not, or lead us. Some people want to lead us to believe we're not. I am. I am. Everybody is equal. I have a right to equality. You may want to treat me a certain way. You may want to act a certain way, but I am this, and I will be demand this, and I will react respectfully. I shouldn't have to ask, but I will demand and continue because I am. Um, they are losing their lives trying to get along with people that don't want them around. Um, that's some strong words, but not everybody feel that way. I understand that's how you feel, but a lot of our kids and of different race and different colors can get along. They're just a segment of people that just don't want to. But again, we can't. I'm not gonna blanket, and I understand how you feel, but that's a heavy blanket. Uh, you know, there are people that can get along. There's a segment of society that chooses they don't want to get along, and there's a segment of society that wants you out of the that believe that you don't belong here. But not everybody. Not everybody. Not everybody. And there are some people might feel like, yeah, you said Trump. Mega is real. Mega is not everybody. Mega is real, but it's not everybody. It's not everybody. I refuse to believe everybody is mega. Uh, is mega real? Yes, it is. It's true. But not everybody. There's a segment of society that believes and want to keep things a certain kind of way, but there's also a part of society that wants to be fair, and we just got to keep pushing. We got to keep trying and trying. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on humans. I'm not giving up on people. I'm not giving up on goodness because uh, I've experienced where people could be good people, and they're good people in all parts of society, race, culture, and everything. And there's a segment of people that are not. And I'm just hoping for the best. Um, you know, my encounters with people that feel a certain kind of way have I've been probably I've met more good people than bad people. I met more good people than bad people. And even in the South, I met more good people than bad people. Um, that's just me. This has nothing to do with Trump. As a black man, I voted and support Trump. He has nothing to do with what these people are doing. People blame him for everything, says RC2. Hey, just me, Douglas. There's a vast majority. And again, there are people that blacks that vote for Trump as well. They lives like his politics, in spite of how he may feel about women at times and what things he may have said in regards to black. There's some people that support Trump based on other reasons. I don't. Again, this is not about Trump, but again, there are people that support him. Black people support Trump as well. Uh, that's just the politics of it for whatever reason. Okay, I know people that support Trump, and in a lot of ways, they're still good people, but they have different political views and certain things that he does and that I support and that I don't support and they may support. But again, that doesn't dismiss that they're not good people. They just have different political views. Uh, and hopefully, their political views, I mean, that's just it. We know people that I don't know. Some people say I cut everybody out. That anybody that support Trump, I don't want nothing to do with them. I don't want nothing to do with people. Anybody that have to do nothing with Trump, I don't want nothing to do with them. I I I I, I just I like to argue the politics of it all. I want to know why. I want to know what I like to talk about it. I beg to differ. That's your opinion, and that is correct. Everything is my opinion. I'm not arguing anything. Everything is my opinion. It's all my feelings and your opinions, and that's the good thing about it. Everybody has their right to their opinions and feelings, and even if you don't agree with somebody, especially when it comes to politics. Politics in my household, imagine, I told y'all, can y'all imagine, y'all couldn't have dinner at my house on Thanksgiving when it comes to politics. It was an uproar. You, the house, everything. When it came to politics in my house, this is why I talk about politics on so different levels, because that was a big thing in my house. And Thanksgiving and Christmas at my house, when it comes to politics, the table, dinner was done. Okay, dinner was done. Make America great again. I do as well, Rita. I beg to differ. So dinner at my, I can just tell you guys, so y'all can imagine a range of things that we talked about when it came to politics at my house. And I came from a black household. And imagine why we flipping the tables at Thanksgiving and Christmas when it comes to politics. Because everybody had different views. Everything, I came from a family of people that just, everybody had different views. Not everybody had the same view when it came to politics. So it was an uproar in my house. Okay, coming from a black household, I learned how to argue when it comes to politics, religion, and any damn thing, but definitely politics. Okay, when was it ever great for blacks? Again, I just like I said, everybody has different views. I mean, look at things. If you look at it as a whole, have you ever had a time in your household when things were good for you as a black person? Will you ever experience, if you don't answer as a whole, as a thing, but was it any time in life as a black person, do you experience anything good? Okay? Now, you talk about blacks as a whole, I mean, there may some blacks may say, hey, we came a long way, we had some good times, and then you look at things, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Trump basically saved us black from being replaced by illegal immigrants. Go ICE. See now, Trump basically gave us power to back in this country. We have to stop doing emotional politics. Again, this is getting stronger. Like I said, everybody can have their views, and everybody can have their views and belief when it comes to Trump and when it comes to their belief and experiences. And it's a tough thing to discuss, right? But I'm gonna let everybody have their opinion and their views. Okay? I'm gonna let everybody have their opinion and their views. Everybody came from different belief. Again, I'm gonna always say this. We came from a different beliefs, different experiences, and different teachings and in different places in life right now. So I'm not gonna say anything about anybody how they feel right now. I'm not going to say you're wrong for how you're feeling. I'm not going to say you're wrong for how you're feeling. Everybody has different feelings. If this is going, and everybody should have the right to express themselves, right? Whether you agree or disagree, everybody has an opportunity to express themselves. All right? And I think if we can do this, if we can have these type of conversations and understand why people feel the way they feel, why they come from different views, why everybody don't think the same, why everybody have different experiences when it comes to politics or interacting with different people. We can't dismiss one person for that. We can't dismiss that. We got to have these hard conversations. Okay? And this is not about Trump. And this is not about Trump at all. This is not about Trump. We're talking about Nolan Wales. But what I want to say, we're not going to take this is not about Trump. Okay? This has nothing to do with Trump at all. Okay? We're not, and I don't know, but what I am talking about is the right for people to be able to express themselves. If we can't have these conversations, if we cannot talk and understand where people are coming from, how people feel the way they feel, how did they get to these feelings, then we will always have issues. At some point, we got to be able to. Yeah, I thought y'all were talking about Nolan Wales. The topic wasn't hijacked, it was introduced, and now we're dealing with it. So I don't allow my topics to get hijacked. We were talking about Nolan Wales, and Something else, as you know how we do, Caddy. You know how it happens over here. We tend to go all over the board at times. Um, but again, um, this is things that are going to happen. This is what's going to happen when we talk about subjects that are emotional, feelings, and things. Different things are going to come in. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. Dump has to nothing for blacks as a whole. Dump wants us say us back years as he tried to tempt this man of voters right, but okay. And again, people not dismissing just me, Douglas. Strong feelings. Yes, it does feel that way. And you have to understand that. I want everybody to understand that, as well as RC220 TV. Understand the things that are happening in our community at times. Understand why uh, people feel this way about Trump. And when you stated that go immigration, a lot of us don't feel that way. Okay, some people are feeling disenfranchised with the rules that are being made, right? Some of the things that are happening, okay, and those things that are being expressed do make people feel like, hey, with the line change and with the acts happening where people are now voting to change up, taking the rights or Jim Crowing voters' right? Think about that. I don't know how you are, RTC, but think about how some people are feeling about losing their representation in different states, okay? That's strong. That is strong. And that is happening, all right? When you dismantle, when you pass laws that disenfranchise people when it comes to voting, that has happened, okay? Well, if you love what ICE is doing, I don't love what they're doing, RC2 TV, okay? I don't love what they're doing. I think, and I'm gonna stand on that. I don't like what ICE is doing, okay, and the way they're doing it and the way they look, okay. I don't like that at all, okay. I don't agree with it, okay. It reminds me when I see ICE mask. I'm former law enforcement. There is no way that I should ever think law enforcement should have their face covered, okay. You're a 51-year-old man from Flint. I'm a former law enforcement. I don't think law enforcement, anybody representing law enforcement, should have their face covered. Okay? I don't think people should be dragged from their house and homes without a warrant. Okay? I don't think people should be dragged from their house and home without a warrant. I disagree with ICE and the way they're doing things. I can't agree with you on that at all. Okay? Innocent children and adults are being mistreated. Most definitely. Can't go with that, RC2 TV. Can't go with that. Can't go with some of the things that are happening. And these are strong feelings. RC20 TV, nah. I'm going to end this conversation because this is going to get deep. And this is, again, my audience. We were talking about another subject. But I'm not going to sit here and argue ICE with you, RCT, because I can't go with that. Um, I can't go with that. I can't go with that. I see too much. When I see injustice, I'm not going to be okay with injustice. Okay, I'm not going to be okay with that. And that right there, and I understand your feeling about ICE, but I don't agree with it at all. And I don't agree at all. Okay. Okay. So, if you want to see your rights being like I would say, it's somebody today, it could be you tomorrow. When you being snatched off the street without a warrant and being drugged someplace and detained for 20, 30 days without uh, having your without being able to talk to somebody, when you put kids in jail, hold them in fucking findings where there's no medical treatment, okay. When you're being held, that's what when you're being held and you're being arrested and drugged out of your home or drugged out of your car without a warrant, and you don't know who's doing it to you and their face is covered, and your name is covered, all you know is you've been taken out of the car and taken someplace and detained and held. Think about that. It could be you tomorrow. Okay? Think about that. It could be you tomorrow. Okay? So, you guys, this topic, I'm going to get up out of here. We've been here for an hour and 40 minutes. I know it went a little left, y'all. It tends to do that sometime. I want to say I respect everybody that came in today. Rita Williams, thank you for your input. Everybody, I'm a whole vibe. Thank y'all for y'all input. Uh, Again, sometimes this does happen. Just Me Douglas, thank you guys. I hope everybody just leave feeling that this is the world that we're in. Unfortunately, we have people with different views and different thinking from each one of us, and just the thing I always felt, you get to hear the other person so you can see what the world sounds like. We can't. I don't ever want to be in a position where I can't hear what another man is thinking, so I know how to position myself. I don't. I try to listen. Like I say, I've listened to different radio stations just to know. I listen to Fox News. I listen to conservative radio. I listen to all types of radio. I listen to all types of stuff so I can have an informed opinion about for myself. I don't dismiss anything. I want to hear what the person has to say. I need to know where things are at sometimes. And sometimes it's the hardest thing to listen to. But sometimes you learn a lot from people by just listening. You don't have to agree. You don't have to like what they got to say, but at least you know you can have a stance. A good topic, like always, the difference make the world go round. That's it. We got to know, sometimes you got to know people's position. Listen to what they're thinking. If we close off everything, we'll never know what they're thinking, what other people are saying, what they're thinking, what is the plan. If we all listen to everything that think about it, if I only listen to one person, say one news station, because they saying everything I like, and I don't know what the other person is saying, I could be missing something. I want to know what everybody. I want to know what people are thinking. That's thinking different than me. That's different from me. That may feel different from me. I need to know what's happening. How are you feeling? Okay. Forewarned. Good topic. Yeah, y'all know the TV show I'm gonna go look at today. I'm gonna go look at Civil War. I didn't know this movie was out. It came out a few years ago called Civil War in the United States. I gotta go check that out because, like I said, some of the things they put out here for a reason. Did anybody see the movie Civil War yet? I gotta go look at this movie. Check out the movie. It's on Hulu, Tubi, and it's called Civil War within the United States. I gotta go see what that's about. Anybody seen it yet? And I want to thank everybody for their support. Thank y'all for supporting me today in this. Thank you, Grateful too, for the $4.99. Hitting that like button on that. I don't know if everybody's still here, but I appreciate y'all support. Appreciate the topic. I have not. Yes, there's a movie called Civil War, and it's within the United States, and I guess this time it came out in 2024 or 2025. I'm gonna go check it out because, like I said, sometimes is it's like, you know, we know how sometimes these movies and stuff kind of give us a hint of what people thinking. So I'm gonna go definitely look at that and see what's going on with that. It's on Tubi. It's on I believe several different channels. It's on, but I haven't seen it yet. I said I'm gonna watch, see what's going on. Thank you all, guys. Y'all, please, please, please take a deep breath. Breathe. Take a deep breath. Don't let this topic, the whole entire thing that we went through today, we talked about Nolan Wells. Uh, but please, again, take a deep breath. I'm a listener because I need to know what's they're thinking and doing. Most definitely Rita Williams. Um, That's why I'm a person that listens and try to know what everybody else is doing. I listen to different radio stations, different TV programming, and I listen to different people, whether I disagree with them or not, or whether I agree or not. I'm going to hear something until it becomes not, until if they're saying something that's to a point that is disrespectful, attack on some like that guy did earlier. If it is an attack on me personally, that's one thing. But if you come in here stating your views that is different to mine, I just want to hear what you got to say, how you got there, and you learn a lot from people. And I kind of got my idea on listening to the last guy. I got a feeling, and I think my gut feeling is um, how he described himself. I'm not going back into it, but I got a gut feeling about that. It wasn't what it was. And I just got a feeling that they tried to get their point across in a certain kind of way, but um, I got my feelings about that one. And like I say, sometimes the best thing to do is listen and know what your adversary or whatever is going on, so you can position yourself. You'll know what's going on. You can know what the pulse of the nation may be. You don't have to agree. You don't have to disagree. Just listen. Just listen. Just listen. So everybody take a deep breath. This was a this whole topic, the whole live today was just a great live. I appreciate everybody's differences. I appreciate everybody's view. I appreciate y'all allowing me to deal with some of the people that came in that are not normally a part of our topic. But again, we get to see how people are thinking. And then I get to challenge people sometimes, like that one guy, how he came in. A couple of them came in a certain kind of way, and then they had to kind of like hear, and I don't mind doing that. I don't mind challenging sometimes, challenge your thinking. The guy that came in earlier, and he had to say, you know what, I didn't think about it like that. That's what I like to do. Just think. You don't have to agree with me, but I want you to just go back and think. Maybe show some empathy, right? Show some empathy. That's all it's required. You don't have to, maybe you don't understand, but understand as a mother and a father. Just pure empathy. That's it. You may not agree, or you may not, but empathy is understood. I don't agree with it, but I can understand how they're feeling. Maybe I don't agree, but I can understand. Maybe I feel this way. Maybe I agree that this case is over, but I can understand what the mother wants, right? Empathy. Empathy. That's it. You don't have just showing compassion and empathy. Put yourself in the shoe if you can for a moment. That's it. Put yourself in the shoe of a mother or a father. Take yourself out of it for a minute and put yourself in that mother's shoe. Okay? All the anger, stop for a moment and just put yourself in that mother's shoe if you're able to. That's it. Sometimes we don't put the shoes on. We don't understand because we can't put ourselves in that position. We're not allowing ourselves to get in that position. If our feelings are so opposite and so strong, we can't put the mother's or father's shoe on. I don't know what it's like to lose a child, but I can empathize with that mother. Is I would want answers. I would fight for answers. Right? That's it. Compassion and empathy. Y'all, this is Justice Reacts, y'all. And I'm up out of here, y'all. Y'all have a good day. Thank you, Rita. Rita, you know you gonna keep it going, girl. Rita, you know you Rita gonna keep me on my feet. Just me, Douglas. Rita, y'all gonna keep me on my feet. I'm telling you that. Rita gonna make it. Caddy, Rita, all of you guys. Rita, let's see who it was. Rita, Just Me, Douglas, Chris, uh, all of you guys coming in, y'all gonna keep me on my feet, man. Okay, y'all gonna keep me on my feet, and I enjoy the banter, the challenge, just talking because we get to see everybody don't feel the same. We get to see that everybody come from different neck of the woods, and we all are different. We all are thinkers. We're thinkers over here, and that's the greatest part. We are thinkers, and we get to think, and we get to feel, and we get to express. And you don't get kicked off because you feel different. You don't get shut down because you feel different. Okay, and that's the greatest part of being able to have a page like this. And I appreciate you guys. Y'all make me think. Y'all get me the juices running, and I appreciate y'all. But I'm gone, y'all. Have a good one. I hope y'all come back now. Come back, and I'm pretty sure we got more to talk about.